Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Thursday, September 25th, 2025. I am Bishop Darrell Watkins, the Senior Minister of the Sunshine Cathedral. With me today are Bishop Robert Griffin, my husband, Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, not my husband, and Reverend Kevin Tisdall. We are the Queer God Squad. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about us.
Queer God Squad was created by Hotspots Happening Out to support our mission to explore the value of faith in the LGBTQ community. There is no streaming TV show like this in the entire world.
In 2025, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Hotspots magazine, with Queer News Tonight sharing over 11,000 stories and 11 million views so far in 2020. So far. Can we do that again? Sorry.
Not me having a stroke.
Just keep going.
No.
If you just keep going, then they'll edit out. So just keep going.
Gosh. In 2025, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Hotspots magazine, with Queer News Tonight sharing over 11,000 stories and 11 million views so far. In 2026, we will produce Pride Fort Lauderdale, Stonewall Pride in Wilton Manors, and Pride Fest Caribbean Festival.
We are the largest nonprofit LGBTQ media organization in America, and we encourage you to support our mission to inform, entertain, and educate our community and allies.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. Queer Bishop says, don't worry about the rapture. On a Christian online forum, a poster admitted that she was terrified of the so-called rapture, the bizarre notion that the end of time will be preceded by Jesus' true believers being snatched up somehow into the heavens to avoid the calamity on earth. The fear is that one might not be a true believer and would be left behind to face all manner of horrors. It sounds like a low-budget fright flick, but it is vigorously promoted as doctrine among fundamentalists. This is what I told the poster with the hope of calming her fears. I said, the rapture is neither biblical nor a teaching of the early church. Try to dismiss it as you would monsters under the bed or superstitions about Friday the 13th. As far as the Parousia, or the Parousia, the return of Christ, that hope was fulfilled at Pentecost. The church is the return of Christ when we live out the golden rule of our neighbors and remember that everyone is our neighbor and see God's light in every soul. The rapture is bad theology from the 19th century. Ignore it and live your life. Love casts out fear, and God is love. Live free in the power of love. The rapture is it's fairy tale. No, fairy tales usually have some joy in them. It's just silliness. It is one verse from the Pauline corpus taken way out of context about people being caught up, and it does not mean being physically, literally snatched into the heavens. And the person writing this, by the way, didn't even have the same idea of the universe as we do. That person lived on a flat earth. There was the sky above that you could see, and then there was a sky above that, and that was where God lived. It was a three-tier universe. And so you could take the escalator up and it would make sense. In our world, that doesn't make sense. In a rotating, revolving earth, that in a universe that's heliocentric and not geocentric, it doesn't even work. And P.S., it's one verse. Used metaphorically at a time that had a vastly different cosmology. So there's that. Now, people will assume, and I don't know why, that it's in Revelation. They'll always say, well, Revelation, it's not even in there. There's demons, there are monsters, there's a beast, there's a pregnant woman running away from a dragon. There's all kinds of crazy, but not this. So it's easy to dismiss because it's super new. It really is only about 200 years old, this idea that God's plan is to just blow it all up. It's going to be ugly, but you shouldn't worry about it because if you're a real believer, you'll get snatched up. Now, if you're the pilot of the plane that gets snatched up, just screw all those other people, because sorry about you. Or, can you imagine the chaos on the highway when, every third car driver is snatched up, just mayhem and pandemonium. It would be so ridiculous, right? Or a couple on their honeymoon and in mid-thrust, one of them ain't there anymore. Can you imagine? So yeah, it's too ridiculous to take seriously. It's too ridiculous to take seriously. But people are terrorized by it.
Yeah.
So, like I told the poster, just don't. You're not scared of Freddy Krueger. You're not scared of the monster under the bed. You don't get worried if a cat crosses your path or if somebody opens an umbrella inside. Don't worry about the rapture.
I can't tell you the number of times that I have woken up in a strange bed, in a strange place, and there was nobody around. And when I screamed out, no one answered. And I said, oh my gosh, the rapture caught them and I'm stuck. That's as good a story as any story that I've ever heard about the rapture. I really don't understand how people can live their lives on this earth knowing what they do know about the laws of physics, the laws of nature, the laws of science, and still believe that somehow or another, what'd you say, every third person driving down the road is going to be pulled up? I don't think I ever really believed in the rapture. I heard about it, I read about it, but we didn't talk about it in my church anyway. So when I realized that some people actually lived with this as a true possibility, I was like, wow, the crazies are truly amongst us.
Well, yeah, and you know, a lot of people do live with that. That's terrifying for a lot of people. And so I really want to honor that and recognize that. But I will tell you honestly, I never heard of the rapture until I was probably an adult. It was not something that was ever discussed in our church, though I do know now that there are people who very firmly believe this. It strikes me as kind of sad that you would have to live with that kind of fear over your life, that you could just be raptured up or not.
Or not, yeah.
And I think, of course, that's the biggest fear, but it's not something that a lot of people really know about or really believe in. So.
It is a fundamentalist phenomenon. It's like you wouldn't have heard it in a Presbyterian church, or Episcopal church.
And the funny, there is a process to the rapture now. For those who are in that groove.
Oh, do tell.
The dead in Christ shall rise first, and then comes the rapture to pick up everybody else who got left behind. So the rapture is really that two-part step of a process. If you're in a lot of, I laugh because it's like, really? And the only thing, bless those who believe it.
First there's the zombie apocalypse.
Jesus returns,
of the dead
in Christ rise first, and
then the bus driver and everybody on the bus is hosed. Okay.
Now, every time I think about that explanation of rapture to me, there's this one movie that was on television a long time ago, and it involves people getting ready for a party, and there are blow-up dolls involved. So they blow all these human-sized dolls up.
Party, he said.
Put them in the back. They put them in the bed of the truck, bungee cord them down, and en route to the party, there happens to be a car accident. Well, guess what breaks loose? All the helium-filled blow-up dolls starts floating up. And this lady,
it's 6 feet under.
It's a true story.
This lady jumps out of her car and starts shouting, "I'm coming, Lord! I'm coming, Lord! I'm coming!" Well, and she really does go, but
all right,
because a car hits her. While she's trying to jump up.
Boom. So, for those who believe it, wonderful, real, and that's that side of also, let's keep the main thing the main thing. Let's live and enjoy life, and this whole rapture, if it works for you, if you need it,
y'all are being too kind.
Got it. However,
I'm not letting people have foolishness.
I'm not looking for the boogeyman underneath the bed. I'm not looking for any of those things.
Follow the money. Some coach from Denver wrote some silly books. Coach, y'all, not renowned theologian, not historian, not archaeologist. Some coach wrote some silly novels, at which Kirk Cameron wouldn't have a career otherwise, because they made him into movies, and he was done.
Left behind.
And so who profited from this foolishness?
Thank you.
Somebody's living in a big house while you're afraid. And here's how you also know it's BS. All these people got mortgages. Why you sign leases if you think it's ending any minute and you won't even have to deal with consequences because you'll be sucked up? Why? Really? Oh, it's going to happen today, but I got a 30-year mortgage. You don't believe it. You don't believe it. Just tell the truth. But it's just too silly and it's too damaging. If you believe bread becomes a person, do you? If you believe that that grandma came back as an alligator, okay, whatever. I mean, there are beliefs that I guess are relatively harmless, but this idea that there's somebody in charge of the universe, and that person is only going to take a few people, and everyone else is hosed, and there's just going to be calamity. And if you believe that as a kid, that's abuse. That children were given that, and that been terrorized with that, and that some people are so damaged they never outgrow it. So I think it's bad. I think it's really, really bad.
You know, in a certain denomination, I don't believe so many's going to make it anyway. So to hell with everybody else. And that's the crazy part of it.
Yeah.
Like when you really think about all these different restrictions and beliefs that people have, it's like, why bother?
Yeah.
So that.
Well, this has been the Queer God Squad. And we'll see you again next time.
Before we go, I want to invite you to check out our Performing Arts series. Yes, the season is upon us. Sunshine Cathedral Center for the Performing Arts has a great acts lined up for 2025 and 2026 season. Here is a taste of what is coming up.
Golden Ghouls. Picture it. Halloween 2025 will be on our stage one night only, October 25th.
Then on November 7th, we welcome back Miss Coco Peru and Fuck This Shit. If this show is like her other tour de force, there will be storytelling, laughs, singing, and a moral tie up for the evening. Or maybe this is one entirely different. You'll have to come to the show to know for sure. But you already know it's going to be one of the best nights of the comedy and drag artistry you will ever have enjoyed all year.
December 7th brings Matthew Darren's annual holiday Fantasia, always amazing, and this year it will again be co-hosted by Varla Jean Merman.
And in 2026, there are already some great shows lined up, such as selections from Pearly, a musical based on the play Pearly Victorious by Ossie Davis on February the 7th. For more information about these shows and others, and to secure your tickets, go to sunshinecathedral.org/arts.
Please like and share this episode on your social media and look for Sunshine Cathedral on Facebook or Instagram.
You can also like our individual pages on Facebook. Remember to visit sunshinecathedral.org frequently. That way you will find Bishop Talk, where Bishop Darrell and I interview queer religious leaders, activists, and scholars.
Thank you for joining the Queer God Squad today. We are here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. Remember that we're all in this together, and also remember that you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Bye.